I'm here in the old Providers building in Longford Town, now used by arts group Engage, to meet local artist Sam McGarry. Sam, tell us about your interest in art.
Well, I've always been interested in art. I've always loved art. But recently I did an art, craft and design course in Temple Michael here in Longford, and it just sparked a new interest in getting back into more fine art, because I have a background in tattooing. Actually, I'm trained qualified tattoo artist and piercer, but it's quite restrictive, obviously, because can't really make any mistakes. So getting back into the course, there's such a broad range of subjects and mediums and techniques and stuff covered, so it definitely sparked an interest in fine art and expressing myself a little bit more and being a little bit more loose and creative.
Let's talk about some of the pictures here behind you. I suppose, so first off, I'm seeing love, I'm seeing hearts. There's
lots of hearts, yes. It's definitely a recurring theme in my work. I just love the imagery of classical kind of love heart shape, but also atomically correct hearts and stuff.
And I suppose with tattoos, hearts would be something though as well. With tattoos, you would see a lot of people like to get them and I suppose change them up and maybe distort them slightly or whatever.
It's a very classic image and used a lot in tattooing actually, and I think that's kind of why I liked it. But I just like using that image, and mixing it up a little bit. And as you can see, I love colours and stuff. So
there is great use of colour there, Sam. As well as that, I suppose something I'm noticing is, say we have that beautiful two circular shape. So your canvases almost feel like they're not just square, they're not just rectangle.
No, I'm trying to use different shapes and different objects, and I quite like sticking different objects onto canvases and using those to create the picture. So I'm really enjoying that. Did a combined materials module as part of the course, and I absolutely loved it, using different bits and pieces and found objects and found materials to incorporate with the paint and traditional materials. So it's great.
Those nice colourful buttons as well.
Absolutely,
really bring things to life.
I love stuff like that. I love really bright imagery that kind of catches your eye.
Now something as well that you've tried is cross stitch. Now it's not something I've seen in a long time. Where did you, was this again at the course?
I actually did cross stitch years and years ago. I don't know, I just like the idea of doing little quirky little images, different than traditional embroidery or whatever, doing unusual little things with it, so it's kind of fun and quirky, kind of matching in with the rest of it.
Now we're in the old Builders Providers, of course, here in Longford Town, which is a great space used by many artists of different disciplines. I suppose this was where people came to buy paint, and it's interesting that one of your pieces is actually made up of old paint cards. By this I mean the ones that you'd pick your colours off.
Yeah, the paint samples. I really like that idea of using unusual objects as part of the imagery, that kind of thing. So yes, it's kind of apt. I suppose it's fitting that we're in the old Providers building, yeah.
As you mentioned, you like to use different mediums, and I see there that you've used almost like an old sack as well. A really creative use of material and a really great texture.
Yeah, it was great. Again, as part of the course in Temple Michael, we were encouraged to use different materials to paint onto with different types of paint. So that's kind of where that piece came from. And I really enjoy painting on unusual things, and just rather than just standard canvas, just mixing it up a bit and making everything interact with each other, rather than just having a canvas and trying to do it with the paint, using different pieces of material and things like toys and pieces of wood and all that kind of stuff. I just find it adds another element to the art.
Sam, you recently exhibited at the Croghu Arts Festival, which is where I met you. Lots of great artists here in Longford, lots of great support as well. Tell us a little bit about the scene, I suppose.
Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. Well, I've recently become involved with Engage, who use this provider space for their exhibitions, and they were of course involved with the Croghu Festival, and I actually exhibited in a pop-up gallery with 3 of my fellow students from Temple Michael, so it was absolutely great to kind of keep the group together and keep moving forward with our art. But there is a great scene in Longford, there really is, for an artist that wants to become involved in it, you know, once you get out there, and there's brilliant artists.
Lots of support as well.
Lots of support, yeah. I have to say Phil has been great, Phil Atkinson, he's been brilliant in helping me. He helped loads of us from our course actually, so there's loads of artists like Gary and Gordon and Rosie and them all, you know, they're a great bunch.
Tell us, hopes for the future, where are you heading, Sam?
Well, I may actually continue my education next year, hopefully. I might do something more in fine art so I can get a little bit more creative, step away from the tattooing and the restricted side a little bit. So hopefully onwards and upwards.
And listen, if people would like to contact you to find out a little bit more about you or your work, where can they get you?
They can get me on Facebook. It's S McG Art, and
they can chit chat to you there and see some of your work.
Yeah, all my pictures are up there and they can have a chat.